We're diving into a fascinating piece of U.S. coinage, the 1971 D Washington quarter. But this isn't just any quarter. This rare coin is worth millions and has a story that's sure to surprise even the most seasoned collectors. Stay tuned as we explore its history, the mystery behind its value, and how you can spot a rare one in your collection. Let's start with the basics. The 1971 D Washington quarter was minted in Denver, hence the D Mint mark. It features George Washington on the obverse, surrounded by the words, "Liberty, in God we trust," and the date, 1971. The reverse side shows an eagle in flight, with the inscription United States of America and E Pluribus Unum, typical of most quarters made in the 20th century, right? But what makes this particular quarter worth millions? Well, it all starts with its rarity. By 1971, U.S. coinage had already shifted to a copper-nickel-clad composition, meaning these quarters weren't made of silver, like their predecessors. In fact, most of the 1971 D quarters produced are not rare. They were minted in huge numbers, with over 400 million produced. So how do we find one that's worth millions? The key lies in a very specific and incredibly rare error, a minting mistake that drastically increased its value. Some 1971 D Washington quarters were struck with a double die error. This means that the die used to strike the coin was misaligned, causing the coin's design to appear doubled. The doubled detail often appears most clearly in the letters and numbers on the coin, making it stand out from regular quarters. Imagine stumbling upon one of these in your pocket change. The value of a double die 1971 D quarter can soar to hundreds of thousands of dollars, and in rare cases, even into the millions, depending on the coin's condition. Coins in near-perfect or mint condition, especially those with noticeable doubling, are the most sought after by collectors and investors. A double die error is one of the most coveted mistakes in coin collecting. It's not just about finding a rare coin. It's about finding one that tells a story of imperfection, but also of value. When collectors see a double die coin like this, they understand it's a piece of history, a tiny flaw that makes it extraordinary. So, how do you spot a 1971 D Washington quarter with this rare error? Look closely for the telltale signs of doubling, especially in the inscriptions on the obverse, like "Liberty" or "In God We Trust." If you notice any distortion or extra lines, you could have a winner on your hands. Double die 1971 D quarters have even been known to fetch up to $1.5 million at auction. Yes, you heard that right. For many collectors, these coins are the holy grail. And if you're lucky enough to find one in your change, it could turn your collection into a fortune. Collectors around the world are on the lookout for these rare error coins. And if you're one of the lucky few to find one, you could be holding on to a small treasure trove. So, check your change carefully and keep an eye out for this rare, valuable quarter. We're diving into the story behind a coin that might just be hiding in your pocket change, the 1983 P Washington quarter with no mint mark, a coin that has surprised collectors and investors alike by sometimes reaching incredible values. The Washington quarter has been an American icon since 1932, designed by sculptor John Flanagan to honor George Washington's 200th birthday. Fast forward to 1983, and something special happened. Unlike most years, quarters from this time aren't as common in pristine condition. And that's because quarters were heavily circulated in the early 1980s, and there were no special mint sets made in 1982 and 1983. That left collectors with fewer chances to get uncirculated quarters, making high-grade examples particularly valuable today. Here's where it gets interesting. If you have a 1983 Washington quarter with a P mark, it was minted in Philadelphia. But what makes this year's Philadelphia quarters unique is that many of them were struck with unusually poor quality. Coins from 1983 often have weak strikes or are heavily worn due to constant circulation, which makes finding a high-grade example even more challenging and valuable. Now, let's talk about the exciting part, the value. While most circulated 1983 quarters are worth only face value, finding one in top condition could make all the difference. Quarters from 1983 with exceptional, uncirculated quality have reached values of several $1,000s at auction. In fact, a particularly flawless 1983p Washington quarter in MS 67 grade sold for over $7,000. So what drives these high prices? It's all about rarity and condition. Because so many 1983 quarters were circulated and no mint sets were made that year, collectors have very few high-grade options to choose from. Add to that the challenges of a weaker strike, and finding a near-perfect example becomes like finding a needle in a haystack. When such a coin does appear, collectors are willing to pay big bucks for it. Check Washington's hair, the eagle's feathers, and the letters. Any wear can significantly reduce value. High-grade coins usually have a brilliant shine and lack scratches or marks. If you think you've got a good one, consider having it professionally graded. Grades of MS65 and above are where values start climbing. So, if you come across a 1983p Washington quarter, take a close look. It might be more than just pocket change. It could be a valuable piece of history. And if you're a collector, this coin is definitely worth the hunt. We're diving into the fascinating world of the 1996 no-mint mark Washington quarter dollar. Now, you might be wondering, could a 1996 quarter really be worth millions of dollars? Stick around, because this video will walk you through the history, rarity, and specific details that could make your 1996 quarter one of the most valuable in the world. The 1996 Washington quarter is part of the beloved Washington quarter series, which began in 1932 to honor the bicentennial of George Washington's birth. By 1996, this design was well known and widely circulated. But interestingly, the coins minted in Philadelphia did not bear a mint mark. That's why you'll often see this quarter labeled as the 1996 no mint mark quarter. Philadelphia quarters up to this point never carried a P mint mark. So, why would a 1996 no mint mark quarter be worth a fortune? First, rarity and condition are everything when it comes to value. The standard 1996 quarter isn't typically worth more than face value. But if you have a flawless, uncirculated version in pristine condition, you could be looking at thousands of dollars or even more. Coins graded in the highest grades, especially MS 67 and above, are incredibly rare, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar. Besides condition, errors are another factor that can skyrocket a coin's value. Some 1996 quarters exhibit fascinating errors, like double dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks. These errors make the coin unique and extremely desirable among collectors. If you spot any unusual features on your quarter, it's a good idea to get it inspected by a professional to determine if your 1996 quarter has value beyond face value. Having it graded by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC is essential. Coins graded in top-tier conditions, especially mint state 67 or higher, are extremely rare. In recent auctions, quarters graded in these top tiers have fetched thousands. And if an exceptionally rare and high-grade error was found, it could go for much, much more. The next time you're going through your change, keep an eye out for those 1996 quarters. You never know when a rare error or high-grade coin could be hiding in plain sight. Who knows? You might just find a quarter worth a fortune. To recap, while most 1996 no-mint mark quarters may be worth only a quarter, the right combination of pristine condition, high grade, and possibly unique errors could make your coin worth thousands, or even millions. So keep your eyes peeled, coin enthusiasts. You never know when your lucky find could be hiding right in your pocket. We're diving into the fascinating history, mystery, and value of a unique coin, the 1999 no-mint mark Washington quarter dollar that's stirring up excitement and curiosity. This rare coin could potentially be worth millions, and here's why. First, let's talk about the Washington quarter. Originally introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, this series of quarters became iconic. The quarter design underwent major changes in 1999, as the United States Mint launched the 50-state quarters program. For the first time, each state would get its own design on the reverse side of the quarter, creating collectible coins that captured American heritage. But within this beloved series, a unique 1999 D quarter has become something of a legend for collectors. Typically, quarters from the Denver Mint are marked with a D, located just above the date on the coin. However, some coins from the 1999 run were discovered without this mint mark, a strange and rare error. This no mint mark anomaly on a Denver minted coin is highly unusual, as it was either a rare minting mistake or, as some collectors speculate, an intentional release to generate interest. The 1999 series was manufactured during a time when the U.S. Mint was under high pressure to meet the demand for the new state quarters. As a result, errors became more common, and this included issues like off-centering, double die strikes, and missing mint marks. However, a missing mint mark from Denver, especially in 1999, is so rare that it's gained the attention of collectors and investors alike. So, what makes the 1999 no mint mark quarter so valuable? It's the sheer rarity and mystery surrounding it. Coins with such unusual errors are prized because they're typically one-of-a-kind or part of a very small batch that escaped the mint's quality control. Now, let's get to the value. Because of the unique nature of this error, it's difficult to estimate exactly how many of these coins may exist, but experts believe only a handful are out there. At auctions, rare quarters like this one have been known to fetch hundreds of thousands of dollars and, in some cases, may even be valued in the millions if one is found in near-perfect condition. Imagine owning a quarter that could change your life. The 1999 no mint mark Washington quarter is one of those coins that transcends its face value, turning it into a valuable collector's item. So, if you're checking your change or sorting through coin rolls, here's what to look for. First, find a 1999 Washington quarter from the State Quarters series. The mint mark should be located above the date on the right side of the coin. If you see a coin from 1999 without a mint mark, and the reverse design matches a 1999 State Quarter, you may have stumbled onto something incredible. If you think you've found a 1999 no mint mark quarter, it's important to have it authenticated by a professional grading service, such as PCGS or NGC. Authentication can confirm if it's a genuine error coin and can also help establish its grade, which plays a huge role in determining its value. Once authenticated, research auction records and consult experts to get a better idea of its value. Some error coins like this one could be auctioned for high amounts, especially if they're in mint condition. So, could a single quarter really be worth $1 million? For rare coins like the 1999 no mint mark quarter, the answer is yes. This coin tells a fascinating story of the U.S. Mint, coin collecting history, and the allure of rare finds. Whether you're a dedicated collector or just a curious coin enthusiast, keep an eye out for this one-of-a-kind piece. It might just be hiding in plain sight. Could this seemingly ordinary 2000p Washington quarter be worth millions of dollars? Stick around as we uncover the fascinating history of this rare coin and explore how it became one of the most sought-after treasures in the world of numismatics. Hello, coin enthusiasts. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the story behind a coin that has been making waves in the numismatic world, the 2000p Washington quarter. It may seem like just another modern coin, but there's more to it than meets the eye. The 2000p Washington quarter is part of a series issued by the U.S. Mint during the 21st century. But here's the twist. Most of these coins are still circulating in everyday change, and they don't hold much value. But what if I told you that a select few of these quarters are valued in the millions? In 2000, the U.S. Mint made an important decision. For the first time in history, they included a P mint mark on quarters struck at the Philadelphia Mint. This signified that they were produced there, instead of at the Denver Mint, which had been common for many years. However, as these quarters were widely circulated, many collectors paid little attention to the 2000p coin. It wasn't until years later that some discovered a massive error. A very specific batch of these quarters was struck without the expected mint mark, making them incredibly rare. Can you guess what happened next? This error turned what was once a regular coin into a numismatic jackpot. This rare variety, known as the 2000p no mint mark Washington quarter, is now one of the most sought-after coins by collectors. The key to the value of this quarter lies in the mint mark, or rather, the absence of it. Most of these 2000p coins were struck with the P mint mark, but a small number were missing it entirely. Experts believe this error occurred during the minting process, where the die used to stamp the coins was damaged, leading to the lack of a mint mark on a batch of quarters. When these coins are discovered, they're sent to professional grading services, which evaluate their condition, rarity, and authenticity. Depending on the grade, these error coins can fetch astronomical prices at auctions. In fact, one 2000 Pinot Mint Mark Washington quarter was sold for over $2.5 million. That's right, a quarter worth just 25 cents on the surface could skyrocket in value to over $2 million because of a simple error. So how do you know if you have one of these rare coins? Let's take a look. First, examine the coin closely. Look for the mint mark area above the "In God We Trust" inscription. If it's missing the P, then you're looking at one of these ultra-rare varieties. Be sure to get it professionally graded if you think you have one. So what makes these error coins so valuable? Well, it's the combination of rarity and demand. A mistake like this is a once-in-a-lifetime event. And because the 2000 Pinot Mint Mark Washington quarter is so rare, collectors are willing to pay top dollar to get their hands on one. It's the perfect storm of rarity, history, and high demand. Now, if you're on the hunt for one of these rare coins, you'll want to check online auction sites, coin shops, and even estate sales. But remember, be careful of fakes. Always buy from reputable dealers or auction houses to ensure you're getting the real deal. We're diving into one of the most intriguing coin mysteries out there. The 2001 D-Mint Mark quarter that some claim could be worth a fortune. But is it really worth millions? And why is this coin so special? Stick around to uncover the truth. Hey everyone, welcome back to MA Dollar Coins. If you're a fan of coins or collecting, you've probably heard some buzz about certain modern quarters fetching sky-high prices. Today, we're looking at the 2001 Denver Mint quarter, and we'll talk about its history, what makes it unique, and what kind of value it might actually hold. Let's start with a bit of background. In 1999, the U.S. Mint launched its iconic 50-state quarters program, a 10-year project that produced 5 unique designs each year. These quarters celebrated each U.S. state and became incredibly popular, even bringing new collectors into the hobby. In 2001, 5 states were represented in the quarter designs: New York, North Carolina, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Kentucky. These were minted at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, indicated by a P or D mint mark. So, what's the story with this no mint mark confusion? While quarters without mint marks aren't uncommon, especially those struck in Philadelphia, every Denver Mint coin should have a D mint mark. But every so often, collectors find coins where this mark is missing, likely due to a die error where the D was either polished off or not stamped correctly. Mint errors, especially in the popular state quarter series, can intrigue collectors. But missing mint marks on quarters from Denver are quite rare and attract attention. Now, here's where things get interesting. Is a 2001 D quarter without a mint mark worth millions? Well, while missing mint marks can add value, modern coins like this generally won't reach anywhere close to that high. Certain error coins do command high prices, but typically, this applies to older coins or those with extreme rarity. Coins that fetch thousands or even millions usually fall into categories like major mint errors, rare historical pieces, or those in high demand for a specific reason. A 2001 D quarter missing the mint mark could sell for a premium, maybe a few $100s if it's in excellent condition and authenticated by a grading service. But millions? That's highly unlikely. If you have a 2001 quarter and think it might be missing the mint mark, here are some quick tips. First, make sure it's actually a Denver coin and not a Philadelphia one, as Philadelphia quarters already lack a mint mark. Then, closely inspect the area where the mint mark should be. Having your coin graded and authenticated by a professional service like PCGS or NGC can help you confirm if it's a genuine mint error. Graded coins with unique characteristics tend to sell for more. So, while the idea of a 2001 no mint mark quarter being worth millions is a stretch, it's still an exciting piece for collectors who appreciate mint errors. If you come across one, it's worth investigating, but remember, a realistic valuation will be far less than the rumored millions. We're diving into an incredibly rare coin that could be worth millions, the 2002 Pinot Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar. Stick around to discover why this coin is so special. Now, at first glance, the 2002p Washington quarter might seem like just another coin in your pocket change. But there's a lot more to this coin than meets the eye. Produced by the U.S. Mint in 2002, this quarter features the iconic portrait of George Washington on the front. But here's where things get interesting. It's got no mint mark. But why does that matter? Let's take a closer look. Typically, U.S. coins have a mint mark that shows where they were produced, like D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But the 2002p no mint mark quarter comes from the Philadelphia Mint. It was a product of a rare minting error. Normally, the Philadelphia Mint would strike coins with a P mint mark. However, for reasons still debated among numismatists, a small number of these quarters were mistakenly struck without the P marking. Why does this matter? Well, rarity is the key. With minting errors like this, the scarcity makes these quarters highly sought after by collectors. The 2002p no mint mark quarter is estimated to be one of the rarest Washington quarters out there, and it's worth far more than its face value. In fact, some have been known to sell for as much as millions of dollars, depending on the condition and whether it has been graded by a professional service. Just how much can you make from a single coin? Well, it all comes down to factors like condition and demand. A coin in mint state, especially one with no mint mark, can fetch a fortune at auction. So, what makes the 2002p no mint mark quarter so valuable? Besides its rarity, it's the condition of the coin that plays a huge role. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. A higher grade means a higher value, and for this coin, you're looking at top grades in the 60s. Rare finds in numismatics. In perfect condition, these coins have sold for as much as $2 million in auctions. That's right, $2 million for a quarter. This makes it one of the most lucrative coins for collectors on the market today. Now, if you think you might have one of these rare quarters, here's how you can tell. First, check the reverse side for any signs of a mint mark. The 2002p quarter should have a P mint mark under the eagle. If you see no mint mark, that's your first clue that you might have a highly sought-after error coin. If you think you have a 2002p no mint mark quarter, your next step is getting it professionally graded. A reputable service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, will grade your coin and give it the certification needed to sell it at a premium price. Once your coin is graded, you can consider selling it at one of the major coin auctions or through trusted dealers. But remember, these coins are rare and demand is high, so make sure you get it authenticated and appraised by professionals. The 2002p no mint mark quarter dollar is a prime example of how mistakes in coin production can lead to incredible opportunities for collectors. With its rarity and the potential to fetch millions, it's a coin you definitely want to keep an eye out for. Do you think you've got one of these rare quarters in your collection? Drop a comment below and let us know if you've ever stumbled upon this million-dollar coin. We're diving into one of the most fascinating coins in modern numismatics, the 2006p no mint mark quarter dollar. It's a coin that's worth millions and has an interesting backstory. Let's uncover the mystery. The 2006p quarter dollar, like most U.S. quarters, was part of the 50-state quarters program. But here's where things get interesting. This particular coin, the 2006p no mint mark quarter, has sparked an incredible amount of intrigue in the numismatic world. Usually, the U.S. Mint marks its coins with a letter to indicate where it was made, P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. But on some rare 2006p quarters, the mint mark seems to be missing or faint, leading to confusion. Was it a mistake? Or was it something much rarer? Numismatists believe that some of these coins were struck without the mint mark or with a faded mark due to a specific flaw in the minting process. This caused them to become a rare and highly sought-after variant. Imagine finding a coin with an error that no one else has. So, how much is this coin really worth? The 2006p no mint mark quarter has been sold for jaw-dropping amounts at auctions. Depending on the condition and rarity, some have fetched well over $1 million. That's right, a quarter worth millions. Coin collectors and investors see the rarity and history behind these errors, pushing up the price to unprecedented levels. It's not just about the coin itself, but about the rarity and the story it tells about the US Mint in 2006. Want to find one of these elusive coins? Here's a quick tip. Always inspect the reverse side of the quarter, where the mint mark is usually located beneath the eagle. The 2006 P no mint mark quarters may appear to be from the Philadelphia Mint, but without the mark, they stand out among regular coins. The 2006 P no mint mark quarter isn't just a coin. It's a symbol of how small manufacturing errors can change the course of history in coin collecting. These rare variants don't just represent a mistake. They're treasures that showcase the fascinating world of numismatics. So, if you happen to find a 2006 P quarter, take a moment to check for that mint mark. You might just have a hidden treasure on your hands. And if you're already a collector, keep an eye out for this remarkable coin. It could make you millions. We've got an exciting coin to talk about. One that's rare, has a fascinating history, and could be worth millions of dollars. That's right. We're talking about the 2008 P no mint mark quarter dollar. Now, you might be wondering, what's so special about a 2008 P quarter? You'd be surprised. While this coin might seem like any other at first glance, there's something unique about it that sets it apart from the rest. But before we dive into its value, let's take a closer look at the history behind it. In 2008, the U.S. Mint began producing quarters with the State Quarter Program, which had been running since 1999. The goal was to honor each state by designing a unique quarter. But in that year, something unusual happened. The 2008 quarters were made at the Philadelphia Mint, which didn't traditionally add mint marks for coins produced there. Here's where things get interesting. Most quarters from the Philadelphia Mint are stamped with a P mint mark. However, the 2008 P quarter, part of the 50-state quarter series, was released without a mint mark. This mistake went unnoticed by many, but it's that very absence of a mint mark that makes these quarters so valuable. Normally, the mint mark tells collectors and numismatists where the coin was minted. But for this specific year, the 2008 P quarter from the Philadelphia Mint was produced without that crucial mark. While it's not technically an error coin, the lack of a mint mark has caused confusion and excitement within the coin collecting community. So why is this coin worth millions of dollars? Well, because it's extremely rare. The Philadelphia Mint normally marks all of its coins, but this particular batch of 2008 quarters slipped through without the mint mark, making it highly sought after by collectors. Some of these quarters have been known to fetch astronomical prices at auctions, with some reaching well into the millions. Imagine this: a 2008 P no mint mark quarter could easily command a price of $1 million or more. That's the kind of value collectors are placing on this rare coin, and the market for such errors is only growing. So, what's the secret to its worth? It's all about rarity. Even though it's not an error in the traditional sense, the fact that these coins were produced without a mint mark makes them incredibly scarce. Coins without a mint mark are often seen as anomalies, and that rarity is what makes them so valuable. Collectors are always on the lookout for these rare finds, which means if you happen to come across a 2008 P quarter without a mint mark, don't toss it into your change jar just yet. You could be holding onto a fortune. So, if you're a coin collector or just someone who loves treasure hunting, keep your eyes peeled for this elusive coin. Could make you rich. And remember, if you have one of these, get it authenticated. You never know when it could be time to cash in on this rare find. We're diving into one of the most interesting and potentially valuable coins out there. The 2015 D Washington quarter dollar with no mint mark. Yep, you heard that right, no mint mark. But why is it worth millions of dollars? Let's get into it. At first glance, the 2015 D Washington quarter might look like any other modern coin. It has the same design that's been around since 1932, featuring George Washington on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. But here's where things get interesting. This coin, produced by the U.S. Mint in 2015, doesn't have a mint mark. Typically, coins produced at the Denver Mint will have a D mint mark right on the reverse, just beneath the eagle. But this coin, strikingly, was produced without one, making it a mystery and a potential game-changer for collectors. Before we talk about why this 2015 quarter is such a big deal, let's take a quick look at the history of the Washington quarter itself. First minted in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. This coin has been in continuous production ever since, except for a brief hiatus during wartime. Over the decades, the Washington quarter has been redesigned several times, but the core design elements, featuring George Washington's portrait and the eagle, have remained largely unchanged. But it's not just the design that's important, it's the minting process. In 2015, the Denver Mint, known for producing most of the nation's quarters, faced a major oversight or possible error when a batch of Washington quarters was struck without the usual D-Mint mark. Initially, it wasn't clear how many of these no-mint mark quarters were produced, but collectors quickly realized that they were rare. Normally, the Denver Mint strikes billions of coins each year, so the likelihood of such an error making it into circulation would be slim. But these unique 2015 D coins, without their mint mark, sparked a frenzy in the coin collecting community. Now, you might be wondering, why are these coins worth millions? Well, the answer lies in their rarity. Coins without a mint mark are considered major errors, especially when they are supposed to have one. In the case of the 2015 D Washington quarter, these minting errors have caused them to skyrocket in value. Coins that originally sold for 25 cents on the dollar can now be worth up to millions, depending on their condition and whether they are certified by reputable coin grading services like the PCGS or NGC. Some of these 2015 D no-mint mark quarters have been sold at auctions for staggering amounts, some reaching up to $2 million. These coins are so sought after because they are the perfect combination of rarity, historical significance, and a genuine mistake in production. So, how can you identify a 2015 D Washington quarter with no mint mark? It's simple. Start by looking at the reverse of the quarter under the eagle. Normally, you'd see the D mint mark there. If it's missing, you've got a real collector's item on your hands. Remember, these errors are incredibly rare, so if you find one, it's definitely worth keeping an eye on for its potential value. So what's the takeaway here? The 2015 D Washington quarter without a mint mark is a highly valuable coin that could be worth millions, especially if you can find one in mint condition. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this is one coin you don't want to miss. Keep checking your change. Folks, you never know when you might stumble upon this incredible rarity.